was about to say good morning. It's like 12 p.m. I also pretty sure I filmed an intro for this yesterday, but now I went to edit it and the intro wasn't there, so I probably deleted it along with a bunch of other clips I deleted yesterday. But yesterday was the 1st of November. I decorated and posted, or like edited the video so it's ready to be posted, even though it's gonna be a few weeks before you guys see any of these videos. But I'm trying to get a little bit ahead of some of my Christmas videos because I'm gonna be working from November 3rd until December 24th, or like 23rd. But that was very long. I don't know why I even mentioned all of that. Basically, that was just to say, if you guys missed it, last week I posted my decorating video that I filmed yesterday. And today/yesterday, we are officially starting the Christmas reading. Good evening. It is in fact the next night. I only filmed one clip today and that was of me getting to page 100. I did film a bunch actually of me yapping throughout the day, but I do want to keep this video focused on the reading. So I'll just quickly in this clip go over a little bit of my day because I do feel like it could be exciting for you guys to at least know some of this stuff. I had my first day at work today. It wasn't really work. We had like an introduction sort of day where I met 3 of the other new people I'm gonna be working with, and then got like kind of introduced into the work and the different systems and stuff like that. And yeah, I filmed a clip of me this morning talking, and like the basis of that was just I was so nervous, and today was just so great. Yeah, like it took me 2 minutes because when I got into the work, I was like, I walked up to the reception and I was like, yeah, it's my first day here and I'm not sure where I'm supposed to go. And she was like, yeah, okay, there are 2 other new ones over there, so just go sit with them. And then the minute I started sitting with them, we started talking and it was just like instant. Not like clicking because that makes it sound like we're like best friends now, but like it was just like an instant like, and then the rest of the day just went smoothly. Now, I'm probably going to be nervous again once we get to the point where I need to start making calls and emails to people. But today was such a great day and I'm thinking that that's going to have a positive effect. I'm hoping for a good night's sleep. I have to get up at 6 and that's probably going to be like a new, because I think most work days are going to be from 8 and it takes me like an hour to get to work, so I have to leave at like 6:40, 6:45. So I'm waking up at 6 and giving myself 40 minutes to get ready in the morning. But with that said, let's talk a little bit about the book because that is what you guys are here for, hopefully. I just made it 100 pages into this. I started the morning, I think 50 pages into it, maybe 59. So we've read like 40 pages today so far, and I read some of that in the bus this morning, which that's the good thing about the long like drives to and from work, which I do take like buses and trains, is time to read. Tomorrow is earlier than today was, so I'm kind of interested in seeing what the transportation is going to be like tomorrow, because that's kind of going to be like the show of what it's going to be like every single day. And my mom was like, you're probably going to have to be prepared for it to be way more filled, and if it's too filled for me to get a seat, I won't be reading. So then it's kind of just sad. But as long as I can get a seat I will try my very best for the entire Christmas season to use the 1 hour, actually it's 2 hours a day of transportation time to get some reading done. I did only read for like 1 bus ride today, but I still read a little bit, and then I read a little bit more now when I'm home, and I am loving this book. The Christmas vibes. Forget what I said about this being the perfect start, because it was, I was thinking, you know, with A Nightmare Before Christmas and what's the other one? The book I read last year, The Nightmare Before Christmas. I was thinking it's gonna be kind of like that, so it's kind of like a mix between a Halloween read and a Christmas read. This is very much just a Christmas read, but I am nonetheless loving it. I am loving all the Christmas vibes. So far, I'm also really enjoying our main characters, and I think that's a really good thing too. And it's so cute. How can you not enjoy the book when you're sitting with a book this cute in your hand? I'm planning on reading more tonight. I need to take a little bit of a break because I'm also probably gonna be really tired going forward now, but I want to do a little update on my day and my reading before we keep going with this video. And I think I just did the entire update. Yeah. So I'm excited about work. I'm excited about Christmas and all of these books we're gonna be reading. But that was my little update for now. Let's get back into the reading, and I will see you all once I have anything more to say. I'm sorry for the bad lighting and the couch creaking whenever I move. I just made it halfway in this book. It's the next day. I think I made an update last night. And I did go to work again today and actually did like work. Half the day was spent like sitting next to someone else watching them work, and then after lunch I spent like 2 hours just sitting at my own computer and like answering emails and stuff like that, and I had a really great day again. Yeah, I'm positive about all of this right now, and I'm also positive about this. I did just finish crying. It was like a heartfelt cry. Yeah. But like I said, I'm halfway. I'm kind of hoping I can finish this tomorrow. I'm planning on reading a little bit more later tonight, but first I'm gonna take a break and cook some dinner, stare at my computer, relax, breathe for a second. All right, let's continue this. I ate dinner. I'm officially tired, so I don't know how much more we're gonna read. No. I just read for like an hour this morning, and we officially have exactly 100 pages left, so I am 100% finishing this today. I don't know why, but the minute I get to 100 last pages of any book, I feel like that is like good. I can read that in one sitting. And that's funny because like 100 pages in the middle of the book, I wouldn't necessarily be like, yeah, I can read 100 pages quickly right now. But we are kind of at the height of the story. The whole time there's been this memory that she's like, I'm not excited to go back to this. This might be the reason why I think I'm a bad person. And we just went through that memory. And to say the least, I have no idea why she would think that. I'm a little bit confused. And I guess I kind of get it if you look at her character, but I still think it's like no matter how big of a people pleaser you are, you should be able to look at that moment from, like, they're going back into the past. If you don't know anything about the Ghost of Christmas Past, he takes her to her past memories to look them through, and normally it's like a bad person, and he's supposed to like show them, this is all the terrible shit you've done in the past, and then reckon with that, and then he passes them on to the Ghost of Christmas Present. That's supposed to show them like what everything's like in the present, and then pass them on to the Ghost of Christmas Future to show them what the future is going to look like if they keep being a bad person. But that's what's been so confusing to them, because she's not a bad person. Literally, even this, which is the moment where she was like, maybe I am a bad person, if you look at it from not her perspective, any other person's perspective, you will know that she is not at all a bad person. In fact, every single person she's surrounded by are bad people. And I do think maybe that's gonna be more the gist of the story. He's supposed to not teach her to become a better person. He's actually supposed to teach her to like stand up for herself more. And meanwhile, I think she's gonna end up helping him. Maybe moving on. I feel like that's such a sad ending though, if it ends with it like him moving on, because then he's not gonna be there anymore. But if he doesn't move on and they just finish it, then the minute he's done with his part of the job, she's gonna forget about him. I mean, obviously, I feel like there's gonna be some big twist towards the end that ends up meaning that they can somehow be together, even though he's a ghost. Otherwise, this is gonna be the saddest romance book ever. I am really loving it. I guess at some points, I wish we would have taken out some of the lusty parts of it. And I get it, because he's a ghost. He hasn't, done the deed in over 100 years. So obviously he's a little bit like starved for touch. But I still feel like I wish we would have focused more on some of the stuff he says, because he's amazing. He's like, I like your heart, I like your hair, I like this and this and this. And it just feels like every time we're in his head, I wish we more inadvertently mentioned more of that instead of, he likes the way she looks and the fact that like she makes him feel things he hasn't felt in years. But I'm gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna take a shower, I think, and like get ready for the day. I'm just gonna put this t-shirt on right afterwards, but I do have that open house thing at 1 that we're gonna go to, and then yeah, so I'm gonna take a shower, put on makeup and all of that sort of stuff. So everything except for like a full-on outfit, and then we can just keep reading until I have to leave. Maybe we can even finish this before I have to leave. Who knows? I'll see how that goes. I actually wanted to read you guys one thing I did get. Find it. There you go. Actually, no, we're not gonna read anything. I'm really enjoying this. Like overall, really enjoying it. The Christmas vibes, yeah. And it's really heartwarming. And yeah. Those are all of my thoughts for now. We're gonna take a quick break, and then I'm gonna be back to possibly finish off the book. All right, I just wanted to show proof that I wore clothes today, jeans and a shirt and everything, because we are in fact about to change back into the t-shirt I was wearing earlier. But I bought some stuff. I bought yogurt, my favorite. Actually, I'm not a big yogurt person, so this is kind of the only yogurt I like. And then I bought this cola. It's a Danish version of a cola because I'm trying to join my family in the not buying from American brands. Sorry if you are American, it's not your fault. Well, actually, if you're an American and you voted for Trump, it's kind of your fault. But if you're an American and you didn't vote for Trump and you're watching this, it's not your fault. I'm not blaming you. And then I bought some snacks for the rest of the day. And yes, I am home earlier than I thought I would be. It is 2 p.m. It's an hour since like it started, but basically it turned out what I thought it was going to be was like an event from 1 to 5, and it was actually not an event. It was like you walked into the building and there were just a bunch of tables with the different kinds of classes you could take. We're just gonna call it that because I'm unaware of how to explain it better in English. And I knew what kind of classes I wanted to take, so I just kind of went over to that table and stood with a few people over there and asked questions and all of that. I had very few questions I wanted answered, and I just wanted to hear like a general thing about what it was, but like explained from someone who's actually like studying there. And I will 100% be applying to it, and if you want to hear more about that, I'm going to make a video. I actually filmed a little bit for it earlier today. I'm going to be making a video that will be posted somewhere at the end of the year, maybe at the very start of next year, about my kind of goals and dreams for 2026, and I will get more into the school stuff there. But I just wanted to show you guys that I, in fact, went out today. And now I'm gonna get back into the couch. All right, we revision finished. First of all, she ends it off low-key, not ends it off, but in the very last sentence in the acknowledgements are kind of nodding towards another book in like the same universe, I guess you could call it. So I really enjoyed this. I really did. With that said, it was nothing special. That sounds so mean, and like I guess it was special because like the storyline isn't anything I have ever heard about before. But romance wise, not that special. I'm happy for them, and I enjoyed her character arc. I also enjoyed his, but I feel like we got a lot more of hers and like a little bit more of her past and how it fit into everything now. And I did enjoy that. I'm just, yeah, like I pointed out earlier, I ended up skipping a little bit of spice, and I feel like that happens if I don't feel very connected to the people as a couple. And I don't know why. Like I can't tell you a specific thing I didn't like about them. It's just a feeling. I'm not feeling that connected to them. But this was really cute, and it had all of the really amazing Christmas vibes. I liked the kind of supernatural ghost element to all of it, and I like the idea of another book in like the same vibe. I hope if she makes another one, it could be like another Christmas book next year, but it could honestly also be a book that comes out anytime. But I do hope that she makes that one with sprayed edges too, so they can be like next to each other. It did really make me want to read more of her books though. Like I do want to see where she goes with some of her other books, like The First Time Caller and The Love Light Farms, which is also a Christmas book. I want to read those at some point in the future, maybe, possibly, because the writing at some points, yeah, it did tear a little bit at my heart. I did cry a little bit towards the end and someplace around the middle part. So it's not because I wasn't connected at all. I just wasn't as connected as I have been to some of my like favorite couples ever. So I think I'm gonna give this a 3.75, which sounds like a low rating, but it's not. It's actually really not. It's so close to being a 4-star. I was gonna give it 4 stars, and then I had that little spice scene that I needed to skip, and I was like, okay, not a good sign. But that's our first book for this video done. I have no idea what we're gonna read next because we're not gonna start a new book right now. But you guys will see in the next clip which book I ended up choosing for our next read. Good morning. It is, I actually don't remember. I think the last time I talked to you guys was Wednesday when I started this book. That's when I finished that other book and then started this at night. And I think I may have filmed some talking clips here and there, but I don't think I'm gonna use any of them because I don't know. Personally, I like more of like a lot of clips of reading, and then in between can come sort of like updates. So to go over the past few days, Thursday and Friday, I had work both the days, 8 to 2, and I slept terribly at night. At first I thought it was nerves, but I was like, that's weird because for my second shift Tuesday, I slept fine and wasn't nervous at all. Turns out it was because I'm an idiot and decided to drink half a Coke every night before bed, which I keep forgetting has caffeine in it. Not only does it have caffeine, it has a bunch of sugar, it's carbonated, all of that sort of stuff. I don't know why I didn't think of that until yesterday when I was sitting here in the morning again after a terrible night's sleep, and I was looking at the can and I was like, huh, that's probably why. So I ended up going to bed very early last night. Like, I think I put my phone away and everything at 6:45, went into my bed with my book and read for maybe 45 minutes. So like at 7:30, I put it all away and went to bed. And then I woke up at 6, asked my Google what the time was, and it was like, it's 6 a.m. And I was like, yeah, I'm not getting up now. Even though I did the math and knew I had slept like well over 10 hours by then, I was like, no, we're sleeping more. And then I slept for an hour more, woke up at 7, read a little bit more in bed before I got up and went out here. And then I sat down, ate breakfast, all of that, and took a shower and made a little coffee. We're officially back to the original coffee cup, but I'm actually today, I have a bunch of Christmas plans today that I'm gonna like take you guys along with, probably just for a few clips because I don't like filming and talking to a camera in public and with other people around. But I'll show you guys clips throughout the day because we're gonna have kind of a Christmassy day with my mom because I have today off. It's Saturday, in case you were like confused with the days. It's Saturday. It is November 7th, I want to say. And we're gonna have kind of a Christmassy day. Me and my mom are going to be, I'm gonna take the bus into the middle of Copenhagen and we're gonna meet there. And then we have a little bit of shopping to do. We need to buy something for my grandmother because that's what we're gonna make something for her once we get to my mom's place. I want to go look for a Christmas version of the fall cup I had for iced coffees because it just does something. It adds a little bit of extra happiness to my day, and therefore I want to look for it. And there's one more thing. Oh yeah, notebooks. Maybe one, maybe two. I need one notebook for my 2026 reading journal, which yes, I am already looking into that at November because I'm just ready. Also, I already started filming a video that's gonna be up at the end of the year, which will explain all of why I am so ready for this year to kind of be over. So that was like the original plan, was that I needed to find a notebook. Maybe we'll get two, but I don't think so. I think with the life notebook, we're just gonna keep going with the same one. I should also be doing that with my book journal because I'm not even halfway through it, but I just really want a new one for the new year, and maybe I'll be convinced to get two of them. And then I need like a skincare thing. So we're gonna do all of that and find some lunch, and then we're gonna go to my mom's place. And then we're making this little advent calendar for my grandma that we make every single year. And then we're gonna do that, make dinner, watch a Christmas movie together, and I'm gonna go back home to sleep later tonight. Reading wise, however, because that is still what we're here for, I am officially halfway through Holiday Ever After. I read like 20-something% yesterday alone. Or like yesterday and a little bit this morning. So we're like 44% through it. I am still reading it on my Kindle. I just really like holding the book and like seeing where I am physically in the book. And I'm loving this book. I gotta tell you, so far, hasn't been huge Christmas vibes, but it is also only November. But I'm really enjoying the two main characters. I'm already feeling really connected to them as a couple. And I just think it's something with Hannah Grace's writing, you know? I love it, and I have yet to read a book by her that I did not enjoy. I'm also unsure if she has any books after this one I haven't actually read. Because if Icebreaker was her first book, then I've read all of those, and then I've read this one. So maybe I've actually read all of her books after this one. But it's perfect, and it's gonna slowly move into December, so I feel like the last half is probably gonna be a little bit more Christmassy and like small town Christmas romance. I just can't wait for the Christmas stuff to happen. But even without the Christmas stuff, I am really, really loving this book just as like a romance book, you know? So like if you're looking for a book that you want to like slowly move into the Christmas spirit, I would totally recommend this to like read towards the end of November if you're like a December 1st Christmas girly. So you can just follow along with them over November and then December. And yeah, I also feel like, not that they haven't been communicating, but I feel like this morning they started like communicating, and that just made me like so happy. And I know that's a thing with the last book in the Icebreaker series that I love, Daydream. A thing I loved in that one was the communication between the characters, and I think Hannah Grace does such a great job at making these in-depth characters that are great at communicating, all of that, while also doing spice. And I know some people hate on Icebreaker for only having spice, but if you really read Icebreaker, that book is low-key deep. And I feel the same way about this one. Like, yeah. I can kind of feel where it's gonna go, which I guess is like the point. Like, this is low-key a Hallmark movie. Like, I can see the Hallmark movie in my head, and that does not happen very often to me. So all in all, I'm really enjoying this, and we're gonna have a great Christmas day together, and I'm going to bring you guys through with a little bit of clips, and then I think I'll only like see you guys once we finish this. All right, me and my mom are now officially back at her place, and I did find a little bit of the stuff I went out for and some stuff we didn't go out for. First of all, the journal for my 2026 reading journal, and I decided to get it in a yellow just because it's a very happy color and it's very pretty. And then I got an alarm clock because I don't like to sleep with my phone beside my bed, and I need some way to wake up in the morning now that I actually have a job. And then I got this star for on top of my tree because the one I have is like, it's glittery and all the glitter keeps falling off. And then a chocolate calendar because I even like the cheap chocolate, which is like, I need a little piece of chocolate every single morning. And then these bags for my grandmother's calendar. And then my mom got this Cookie Pop. And then I also got these earrings. Good morning. Yes, it is the next day. I don't know if I even filmed a clip of me saying it, but I did in fact not finish the book yesterday, even though I kind of hoped I would. But I'm down to having an hour left. However, I was reading, I had 2 hours left, and I was reading this morning, the first hour. Third act conflict happened, pissed me off, and yeah. So, basically, right now, I'm mad at the book, but I'm still gonna go finish it in a second. But I went grocery shopping because someone had a phone that wouldn't stop buzzing, and I could hear it down here. And so I was going insane, and I was like, okay, fine, fuck it, let's go to the grocery store because you need to do that anyway. So let's do a quick little haul, and then we can get to finishing the book. They had a few snack sales, so I couldn't stop myself. I bought sour cream and onion chips and these cheese pops things, and Ben & Jerry's cookie dough. I love Ben & Jerry's cookie dough, and it is so goddamn expensive, so whenever it's on sale, I am buying it. I also do want to support Ben & Jerry's. They're so expensive. I'm honestly probably gonna eat ice cream and chips for breakfast because I haven't eaten anything yet today. And then the most important stuff we left for was Parmesan cheese because I'm running out, and whenever I'm busy, my easiest and go-to meals always need cheese on top of them because they're always some form of pasta. And then bread because I realized that for mornings before work, I can't be eating yogurt. So I bought bread, and I bought this cheese that I can put on top of it, with some marmalade and butter and stuff like that. I can also have a little bit of chocolate. So that's like the haul of stuff I bought. All right, I've officially finished Holiday Ever After by Hannah Grace. And I did love it. We're not gonna completely ruin it just because third act conflict really pissed me off. I'm still not really decided on a rating. It's because I kind of want to give it a 3.75. But I still think I liked it more than the other book. But maybe I didn't. You know what? No. We're also giving this a 3.75. Which, yes, means this is my first Hannah Grace book that I have not given a 4 stars or above. But it's also still not a bad rating. And like I just said, I loved this book. And the vibes, the small town vibes. I kind of really hope she makes this like a small town series, but I also don't really feel like we've been like put up to a new book in this world. But I would love it because I loved the small town vibes. I feel like small town and found family often goes hand in hand because it's like this kind of a close small town is just like one big family. And I love that. I love the small town. I specifically love the female main character. I also really like the male main character. He just unfortunately kind of ruined a little bit for me in the third act conflict. I did like him again towards the end, but I do think he should have groveled a little bit more. And while I do agree she also did something a little bit wrong, I do not think at any point in time what she did was so wrong that she deserved his reaction to it. If that makes any sense. But like the storyline, cute. Loved it. I like the pacing as well. I feel like we got a lot. We got like at least like I think half of the book or something to like kind of build up their like relationship and stuff like that. And I really enjoyed that. So I did all in all really enjoy this. I just think the ending really pissed me off. And I do think, I know I just said that the pacing was really good, was okay. But it was just okay. I do unfortunately feel like I had a few moments in the start of the book where I was like, what is going on? Like I kept feeling like I missed something. And honestly, it might have been because I missed something. Because I did start and read this book while I was working for the first week. I was tired, all of that sort of stuff. So it could honestly just have been like a tired mind, and therefore I missed a few little tiny details. There are some tiny details that I either missed or that is missing in the book. Other than that, however, I really love this book. And with that said, I think we're gonna end off this video here. I know I only read 2 books. Normally I like to read 3 books in a video, but I'm pretty sure I already have over an hour of footage for this video that I need to edit down. I know I also included some stuff that wasn't reading, all of that sort of stuff. So this was kind of a mix between reading and my first week at a new job. But yeah, thank you so much for actually spending this week with me, reading my very first Christmas books, starting a new job, all of that sort of stuff. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like, comment, subscribe, turn on your bell notifications so you get notified every single time I post a new video, because I have a few interesting videos coming up. I have more Christmas content coming up, and then we have some more motivational New Year videos. I'm already planning out my end of the year book tag and my beginning of the year book tag, and it's gonna be kind of a full circle moment for me with the end of the year book tag, because that is the first video I ever posted on this channel. And I think you should stick around so you can get to see that when we get towards the end of the year. But with that said, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next Saturday.